अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वाहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली. This is going to be the fourth video of this lesson from Flamingo textbook. The title of the chapter is Indigo. I would request all the students to have the textbook in your hand so you can understand. If you have any query, question, feel free to write in the comment box. You will get your answer inshallah. I request all the students to have the textbook in your hand so you can understand well. Let's begin to read together. Page number 50. I am reading from last 3 lines from page number 50. When the court reconvened means started again. When the court reconvened, the judge said he would not deliver the judgment for several days. Meanwhile, he allowed Gandhi to remain at liberty. So, judgment was not given and Gandhiji was allowed to leave or to remain at liberty, right? Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazharul Haq and several other prominent lawyers had arrived from Bihar. They all came for the support of Gandhiji. They confirmed with Gandhiji. They had meeting with Gandhiji. Confirmed means consulted Gandhiji. What would they do if he was sentenced to prison? Gandhiji asked. When all these prominent leaders came to meet, consult or to visit Gandhiji or to have discussion with Gandhiji, Gandhiji asked them one simple question, that if he would be sent to jail, if he would be imprisoned by the British people, then what would be their action? So let's see what did they answer. Why? The senior lawyer replied. One of the lawyers replied, they had come to advise and help him. If he went to jail, there would be nobody to advise and they would go home. See how selfish and how ridiculous answer was answered by one of the senior lawyers. That if Gandhi would be sent to jail, he said that they had come to advise Gandhiji. And if he would be sent to jail, there would be no one to advise him. Then they would go back home. Let's see. Let me now explain in a nutshell. When the court proceeding restarted, the judge refused any judgment for many days to come. He allowed Gandhi to remain free. Some well-known lawyers like Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu and Maulana Mazharul Haq came from Bihar to help and advise Gandhiji. Gandhiji asked that if he was sentenced to jail, then what would be their course of action? One senior lawyer replied that they were there to help him out, and if he was sentenced to jail, they would return back. This is the explanation. Let's begin to read further. Very easy lesson to understand. What about the injustice to the sharecroppers? Gandhiji demanded. He asked simple question, that what about the injustice done to the sharecroppers? Okay, I would be in jail, you would go back home. Then what about the sharecroppers? The lawyer withdrew to consult. They withdrew from Gandhiji and they got together in order to have meeting. Rajendra Prasad has recorded the upshot of their consultation. Upshot means conclusion. Rajendra Prasad was very clever person. He was very intelligent and very patriotic person, right? He came to the conclusion of that consultation that they thought among themselves that Gandhi was totally a stranger and yet he was prepared to go to prison for the sake of the peasant. If they, on other hand, being not only resident of the adjoining district but also those who claim to have served this peasant should go home, it would be shameful desertions. He made them understand the reality that Gandhiji is total stranger person. He is far away from Gujarat, right? And he had come to Bihar in order to help our peasant, our sharecroppers. And he is ready to go to jail for our people. If we would leave him on such a way, then it is really shameful desertions. They accordingly went back to Gandhi and told him they were ready to follow him into jail. Ultimately, they agreed and they told Gandhiji that they realized their blunder, they realized their wrong judgment, and they decided to go along with Gandhiji in jail if Gandhiji is sent to jail. The Battle of Champaran is won, he exclaimed. Gandhiji was so happy. He was so happy when he heard all lawyers, senior lawyers, stated that they would also go to jail with Gandhiji. And he cried out saying that Battle of Champaran is won. There can be a question in board exam that Gandhiji cried out, Gandhiji exclaimed that Battle of Champaran is won. At what position, what happened, and how it is, right? So you have to answer that. All the lawyers decided to go with Gandhiji in jail. He exclaimed. Then he took a piece of paper and divided the group into pairs and put the order in which each pair was to court arrest. Let me explain in a nutshell. When Gandhiji came to know about their decision, he asked them to help the sharecropper who were facing unfairness. Rajendra Pradas and other lawyers concluded that if Gandhiji could go to jail for the people of their area, although he was a stranger, then they should also follow him as they had always claimed to serve the peasant and fought their legal battle too. They decided that if Gandhiji went to jail, then they would follow too. On hearing this, Gandhiji assured them that their struggle for Champaran peasant had been won. He divided the group into pair of two and made a sequence in which they had to voluntarily surrender in the court. Let me explain you further so you can understand it well. Very easy lesson. Several days later, Gandhiji received written communication from the magistrate informing him that the lieutenant governor of the province had ordered the case to be dropped. Several days later, Gandhiji was given one notice in which it was written by the governor of that particular area that the case it was an order by the governor of the province had ordered the case to be dropped. The case was dropped and Gandhiji got victory without trial, without going to court, and government decided to withdraw the case from against Gandhiji. And this was the first time, this was the triumph of Gandhiji, that the case was lodged. It was sued against the Gandhiji, and Gandhiji got victory without trial. Civil disobedience had triumphed. First time in modern India. It was in the history of India first time that happened, that British released someone who was a criminal, who did not follow the law of the country, and was released without any trial. Gandhiji and the lawyer not proceeded to conduct a far-flung inquiry into the grievance. Gandhiji and the lawyer now proceeded to conduct a far-flung inquiry into the grievances complaint of that farmer. Now Gandhiji and lawyer they started doing investigation of the complaints of the grievances and complaints of the farmer, and they started collecting the evidences so they can fight legally against the British or against the landlord in the court. Let's see what did the Gandhiji do and lawyers. Deposition by about 10,000 peasants were written down. Deposition means testimony under oath or evidences. Depositions by about 10,000 peasants were written down and notes made on other evidence. Yes, that many evidence were collected to fight against the landlord or British people in the court. Documents were collected. The whole area throbbed with activity of investigators and the vehement protest of the landlords. So these were all done by Gandhiji and other lawyers. Let me explain you in nutshell so you can understand it well. Several days, magistrate sent a letter to Gandhiji in which it was written that as per the order of deputy governor, the case against him had been taken back. It was for the first time in modern India that peaceful protest against the government had been won. Gandhiji and other lawyers carried on with an in-depth investigation into the injustice with the farmer. Statements about 10,000 peasants were recorded and various documentary proofs were collected. The whole area vibrated with activity, the investigators and the protesting landlords. This is the explanation. In June, Gandhiji was summoned to Sir Edward Gates, the Lieutenant Governor. Gandhiji was summoned. He was called once again in court. Before he went, he met leading associate and again laid detailed plans for civil disobedience if he should not return. Gandhiji already, before going to the court, Gandhiji had a consultation with the senior lawyers, with the association, says that if he sentenced to, if he would be sent to jail, then they should or we should start civil disobedience. That was already planned by Gandhiji. Gandhiji had 4 protracted interviews with the Lieutenant Governor. When Gandhiji was summoned, when he was called for a meeting with British people, he had four protracted interviews. Protracted means longer than expected, with the Lieutenant Governor, who as a result appointed an official commission of inquiry into the Indigo sharecroppers situation. So Gandhiji had the interview last long much more time, and it was 4 times. Governor, who as a result appointed an official commission, and governor had to appoint an official commission of inquiry into the Indigo sharecropper situation. The case becomes so much serious for the British people that governor had to appoint someone to look into the matter and sort out this matter as soon as possible before the situation go beyond the control. The commission consisted of landlords, number 1, government official, number 2, and Gandhiji as the sole representative of the peasant. Gandhi was all alone fighting in that commission. Gandhi was also included, and he was the sole representative of the peasant people for fighting on behalf of the peasant, on behalf of the farmers. Let me explain you in nutshell so you can understand well. In June, Gandhiji was called up to the present before Deputy Governor Sir Edward Gate. Before meeting him, he met his chief supporters and made plans for civil disobedience in case he did not return. Gandhiji had 4 long interviews with the deputy commissioner, which led to the information of a commission that inquired into the Indigo sharecropper situation. The commission had landlords, government official, and Gandhiji, who was the only spokesperson for the peasants. This is the explanation. Let's read further. The lesson is little bit lengthy, so we have to finish it little bit fast, and I am also going little bit fast. Gandhiji remained in Champaran for an initial uninterrupted period of 7 months. Gandhiji stayed in Champaran for 7 months, uninterrupted, continuous, and then again for several short visits. Then after he was just visiting. This visit undertaken casually on the entreaty of an unlettered peasant in the expectation that it would last a few days, occupy almost a year of Gandhiji's life. It take the 1 year of Gandhiji's life, right? It was expected that it would take only few days to sort out this matter, but it takes 1 year of Gandhiji's life. And Gandhiji fought against the injustice done to the peasant, to the farmers by the landlord. The official inquiry assembled a crushing mountain of evidence against crushing mountain evidence against the big planters, and when they saw this, they agreed in principle to make refund to the peasant. But how much must we pay? They asked Gandhiji. Now, evidence were collected in the size of mountains, and it was now proved that yes, money has been taken forcefully by the landlord from the poor peasant. And it was also decided, it was concluded, and it was learned that yes, it was injustice done to the peasant, and there was a conclusion that money had to be given back to the peasant. But the question arises, how much they had to give it back? But how much must we pay? They asked Gandhiji. There was a question asked to Gandhiji that how much money had to be given back. Let me explain you in a nutshell. Gandhiji remained in Champaran for 7 months. He also made several short visits later. His visit on the request of a peasant was presumed to last few days, but it took a year. The official inquiry didn't favor the planters. Hence, they agreed to pay back to the peasant. But they questioned Gandhiji regarding the amount to be they questioned Gandhiji regarding the amount to be repaid. Let's go further. They thought he would demand payment in full. They thought he would demand repayment in full of the money which they had illegally and deceitfully extorted from the sharecroppers. They thought that Gandhiji would demand full money, and by this way they would deny it, and the case will be dropped. And by this way, the intention was very bad. He asked only 50, but Gandhi was very clever. He asked only 50% money to be given back. There is seems Edmund. Writer Reverend J. Z. Hodge, British missionary in Champaran, who observed the entire episode at closing, thinking probably that he would not give away. The representative of the planter offered to refund to the extent of 25%. And to his amazement, Mr. Gandhiji took him at his word, the breaking the deadlock. They thought that Gandhiji would be adamant, and he would ask only the full payment. But Gandhiji only asked for only 50% amount to be given back. And in reply to that, they agreed only to 25%. And Gandhiji agreed even 25%. For Gandhiji, amount was not important. For Gandhiji, it was important that these British people, this landlord, who consider themselves as the king of the law, who consider themselves superior, right? They bow down before Gandhiji. They bow down before the law. That was the main matter, right? And Gandhiji wanted a peasant to feel free from the fear of British people. That was the motto of the Gandhiji. Let me explain in a nutshell. The moneylender had thought Gandhiji would ask for the full payment of the money which they had taken from the peasant forcefully and fraudulently. But he asked for only 50%, and his decision was firm. A missionary, Reverend J. Z. Hodge, who had close watch on the matter, reported this. The planters offered to pay only 25%, as they thought it would be rejected by Gandhi. He immediately accepted it. Gandhi says that the amount of money was not important, but by giving money, the planters had bowed down to the peasant landlord, that British, and had given way their honor too. The planters, who earlier behaved as if they were above the law, now had to abide by it. This made the peasant realize their rights and give them courage to fight for them. Right? This settlement was adopted unanimously by the commission. Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlord had been obliged to surrender part of the money, and with it part of their prestige. Therefore, as far as the peasants were concerned, the planters had behaved as lord above the law. Now the peasant saw that he had rights, and defenders he learned courage, which I have already explained you. I will begin from the fifth video over here. And that would be the last video, inshallah. I would request all 12th standard board students to go through this lesson. Very important lesson, very easy lesson. If you have any query, you can contact me, or you can write in the comment box, right? Meanwhile, I would request all students to pray and to remember me in your dua. Allah Hafiz.